Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us at today's webinar under the banner One on Education. I am Smita Matai, AVP Training, Orient Black Swan. We are delighted to introduce our distinguished speaker for today, Ms. Shibi Anand, an AI skill mentor, community leadership builder, edupreneur, and the founder of Enable an AI Community. She empowers organizations to evolve through purposeful and experiential learning. Her impact is staggering, having conducted over 100 workshops and mentored more than 3,000 educators, professionals, and leadership teams across sectors. With over 2 decades of experience in education, leadership, and corporate training, Ms. Shibi is a bridge between two worlds: the deeply human power of emotional intelligence and the transformative potential of artificial intelligence. Her expertise spans AI integration, faculty development, values based leadership, social and emotional learning, and professional presence. She is a certified corporate and outbound trainer, a specialist in AI driven transformation, and the visionary behind the AI teacher community, a thriving network of over 400 educators committed to the future of learning. Her influence is widely recognized. She has been honored as a top LinkedIn educational leadership voice for 2 consecutive years and received the Bharat Sahodaya Exceptional Educator Award. Beyond training, she is a pillar of the professional community, serving as a core member of the Women's Entrepreneurs Network and previously contributing her expertise to the WICCI Mental Health Council. Her mission is clear: to build future ready workplaces that are as emotionally intelligent as they are AI literate. Thank you, Ms. Shibi, for accepting our invitation to speak. And over to you now.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And it's a wonderful evening, and it's so good to have you all here. I could see close to 140 people in the room, and I know some of you may be going back from work, or some of you may have just got back from work. But there's just a simple request. Let this webinar be not just one among so many that you have attended and not benefited from. So, if it is possible, we would like you to be present completely for this 1 hour, because that's when something substantial will change in the way you work. So, let me just share my screen with you and we'll take it from there. Meanwhile, in the chat box, if you could just type, how are you all feeling right now? What is the emotion that you're feeling right now? If I could see the chat box, if some of you can respond, calm, good, expecting, excited to learn, that's wonderful. So, going forward, everybody knows the topic for today is technology-based assessment, the way forward. A couple of things before we actually get into the hands-on session or the demonstration of the tool would be, if you could be with me and understand how the tools work and try to put your own scenarios into how you would use those respective tools. So, some of the session objectives I have mentioned here, but all of you know one thing for sure, right? That technology is inevitable. AI is inevitable. And that's a non negotiable reality for all of us out there as educator. The world has changed and it is still changing in a faster pace than you and I can catch up with. So, definitely, as educators, it is time that we start accepting those changes, getting ourselves ready for those changes, and dive into this world where we are not only empowering ourselves, but we are also empowering the children who are with us. So, why do you think the assessments needs to change from manual to technology based assessments? Now, I would give you three reasons for that, and you could, at the end of it, you can decide whether you still want to continue your old ways or you want to join us in this new way of accepting technology and working with it. For your student, you know that we talk a lot about how the world is changing with the advent of AI, and some of the jobs that are there here today would not be there by 2020, 2030, or it may not, you may not even have heard of the new jobs that will be there in 5 years to come. So the students need competency based skills. They just don't need explain, match the following, fill up the blanks, those kind of rot learning questions that we usually put. I'm not saying that you all are putting it in that way. I know many of you have shifted your focus from the rot learning to the competency based skill. So we are here today to help you to do that a little more better. Okay, and definitely the children need the real world skills. So this helps you promote that, this helps you build that. And if you talk about teachers, definitely assessments are a major part of our curriculum and it takes a lot of our time. What if you have a superpower tool that helps you to make better assessment in less time? So when you save the time for doing this, you actually use those times for things that matters the most. That is your student interaction, your mentoring, sitting with children who need your attention. And when we are preparing assessments manually, though we would love to be inclusive and be fair to everybody, lack of time does not allow us to do that most of the time. But if we use technology in assessment, if we use AI in assessment, we are able to create differentiated learning. We are able to create an inclusive environment, right? And it helps us in preparing a much superior assessments. So I hope the choice is clear here, right? It's either you adapt to the changes or you perish. So when you remain or when you accept those changes, you remain relevant, you remain impactful, and you remain effective. And when you resist it, don't get me wrong, but there would be a time where you would not be able to continue what you've been doing for years, though you are an expert in it. So, my key message to you today, as we dive into these details, is that you don't have to feel overwhelmed with all the tools that are out there. You don't have to feel overwhelmed with, oh my God, how am I going to catch up with all of these changes? And you don't certainly need to master all the tools that are out there. But can you master one tool? Can you see that today I would be going through around 4 or 5 tools depending upon the time? Can you take one tool? Can you try it out in your classrooms? Can you see if it helps you? If it helps you, if it add values to you, your classes, your assessments, will you keep it? And if it does not, you can chuck that. No issues with it. So can I see on the chat box a response of that? Would you try at least one tool? I'm sure that after today, all of you would be equipped to try out the new tools. So in the chat box, just give me yes or no, whether you would try out the tools one at a time and then see which one works for you. The ones that works for you, you keep. The one doesn't work for you, you chuck. You don't have to work with tools that are overwhelming for you. Thank you so much. You are a wonderful group of teachers here, and I see so many yeses. I sincerely wish, and that's exactly what I intend to do today. I intend to just give you tools that you can immediately try and work out in your classrooms. Okay, I've just given you a differentiation between the traditional assessment and the technology based assessments, but you don't have to go through that because you already know the difference between the traditional assessment and the pros and cons of it, and the technology based assessment and the pros and cons of that. So I'm skipping that for that, and we're just going to get into the real session in a while. So when I use AI in our assessment, I am able to do a competency based learning where I'm just not, the typical kind of question answers that comes to me. I am going above that. I can have the different kinds of questions across subjects. and I get a tool that helps me prepare that. So though there are number of tools out there, we will focus on a few tools today. But if you know many other tools, you could try out each one of them, but one thing at a time, one tool at a time. So the world today talks about competency based learning, experiential, project based learning. So how do you assess all of that? Right? So you have tools that help you to assess all of that. And also, when we talk about the 40, 50, 30, 20 children in our classroom, we don't, they are not alike, right? Their requirements are not alike. The learner profile is different. So can we give the same question paper to all 40 of them? Or is it possible humanly to prepare 10 different set of question papers of 10 different difficulty levels with the answer keys and give it out? It's possible, but it's a huge time constraint factor. So your AI tools help you to do that. It helps you to differentiate your learning, and it also helps you to be an inclusive teacher who consider every child in the classroom. Okay, so these are some of the things that I wanted to discuss with you today. I'm just going right away into today's tools one at a time, and I'm going to share my screen once again. I think you should be able to see my screen. If you're able to see my screen, can I have a few thumbs up if you're able to see my screen? Okay, wow, wonderful. So I know that all of you are aware, or at least some of you are aware of this beautiful tool called Magic School, which is free for teachers for most of the purposes. But in this Magic School, if you go to the section where there is categories, and if you scroll down to feedback and assessment, okay, I want you to explore the Magic School platform. I'll just uh, paste the link for it so that later when you want, you can just try that out on your own. Once. So I've posted the link of the tool in the chat box. You can later try it out, but right now just be with me. And when you go to the feedback and assessment column, you have something called, one second. You have something called DOK questions. Now, what are DOK questions? DOK questions are depth of knowledge kind of questions. So when you click on this, you will come to a section where you can select the grades that you would wish to. It actually goes up to your, graduation, and even at the professional level, you can use the DOK questions. You can select the grades that you wish to. Okay, suppose if I take the 8th grade, and if I have a topic which I want to try the DOK questions for my children, so I would say reproduction in organisms. Okay, why this topic? Because recently I was just creating a presentation for you, so I've just created that. And if I look at this particular thing, there is on the right hand side, you see something known as show exemplar. So the exemplar for this particular topic is ready once I have done that. And I'll just go ahead and I'll just say generate. So you would see, based on the grade that I have selected, okay, and the topic. The topic here it has taken is right now the forces. I've taken the, I'm sorry, I gave the organism one, but here I had already put the topic of forces, which is a physics topic or a science topic for children. And there are close to 4 levels of DOK questions that you can see on your screen. The recall kind of a question, where you have the understanding being checked, then the skill and the concept, the strategic thinking, extended thinking, all that is taken care of in the DOK questions. DOK questions, I have not given any particular prompt, but you could give the prompt that you wish to, and it will take you exactly where you would. It will actually give you that particular grade, that particular topic's depth of knowledge questions. Everybody with me in that particular? The depth of knowledge questions in Magic School. Is everyone with me? Okay, great. Thank you. So another one is that they also have something called a YouTube. I'll just search for it. Okay, it's a if you have a YouTube video. okay, and you want to ask questions based on those YouTube videos, okay, you could just bring, now that YouTube video that you're taking needs to be an English, a video in English, and you just need to paste the transcript of that. Okay, now you have many tools where you can get the transcript. If you don't know or if you're not clear about it, you could also get that. How do I get a transcript of a video over here as well? I can see a few hands that are being raised. If you have questions related to what I'm right now speaking about, maybe you could ask me quickly, or you can put it in the chat box and I can just check that out. So what you could do is, you have the grade that you will be selecting, okay, and you can have three choices here: multiple choice question, free response question, or true or false question. You can select the type of the questions that you want. Okay, suppose if I say this is what I want, and I can generate up to 10 questions based on the video script that I have brought in. Okay, now when I say, you can either have this particular, so I have right now given one question which is a force one itself. So here also you could see the show exemplar, and you will see that I have taken that one for the Great Depression. Okay, and if I go ahead with this, if I had created one question by generating the questions for the video based questions, all right, uh, there's a lot of difference between ChatGPT and AI. Maybe we can take it at the end. There was one question that, 1 second, the font size are too small. 1 second. I hope this helps in the screen size. Okay. All right. So this is the question that has been created for me. I had selected only 5 questions. So based on that particular video which I had given, there are 5 questions that are generated, and the answer key for that is also generated. So like this, if you go to Magic Tools, you will have this section called categories. You can go to the feedback and assessment, and you also have an option of generating text dependent questions. Okay, if you have your text, you could just bring it here. If you want, you can add your file. If you have a PDF file based on your textbook, you can add it over here, and you can generate questions based on that in the category of text dependent questions. Okay, you also have certain other tools like math story word problems. You have worksheet generator, all of those here. So if you could just go ahead later, whenever you are sitting with this one tool, and explore this in detail. You have many other tools that helps you in many other things, but right now today our focus is on assessment. So I've just picked out the tools that you have, that you can use for assessments or technology based assessments. There are n number of tools you can somebody asked me that, how is it different from ChatGPT? ChatGPT is an open source tool where you are going out in the internet and you are selecting for that. Here, you can give your own textbooks, irrespective of the boards that you are teaching, and you can generate question paper based on that. ChatGPT has also now extended its features, definitely, but you cannot compare something which is not built for education specifically with the tools that are meant for education specifically. So as an educator, it's always good to stick to the tools that are meant for education specifically, though you can once in a while go to the ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and try out different kinds of assessments, and you can also take the help of those tools and bring out the prompts and bring out what they have generated and put it over here. So that was tool number 1 for you, which is Magic School. And under the Magic School tools, assessments and feedback, you can try out these tools. The second one which you could try out is called Khanmigo. So I'll just put this across in the chat box. I don't think I'll be able to take out the questions right now because we are a lack of time, but I'm sure that we have time at the end where if there are questions with you, you could raise it and we could try to work it out. Okay. So Khanmigo is another platform which is a very, very relevant and built specifically for educators. Okay. Here also you have lot of tools, but the one that you are interested today is called Create. And when you go to create, you will see there are question paper generator like this is one called questions generator. This is multiple choice question generator. So if I go to the questions generator, so here also you have till, whichever grade you would like to select. Suppose if I go to the 12th grade, or if I go to a lower grade, if I go to a lower grade and I say I would like to have maybe 10 questions, and if there is a text that you want to bring in, you could bring your text here. This, for this particular thing, you could take the help of your Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, or even if you have a PDF document which has the text, you could bring it here. I Just a second. I think I had downloaded a textbook, but that's for grade 10 maths. So is there any other, one second. So you could bring in your text here. Like, for example, if you want to, what is it? The life cycle of a butterfly. I'm just trying to give a very simple topic, and let me see. I could actually generate it using AI and bring it here. So let me just simply give it as the life cycle of a butterfly. So I have not given any extended prompt, but when you are working with assessments, you need to be sitting with your own document, your own textbook PDFs, and you have to see. So it specifically says it needs your expertise to be excellent. As I said in the beginning, AI tools work with your expertise. They are only tools. So you are the person who work on it. Just for the demonstration purpose, I have just given one line, and this was the 10 questions, which is a very basic 10 questions that they have brought in. And the answer key for that is also brought in here. So this is one way you could generate, and you could, edit it. You can copy it into your Word document or a Google Drive document. You could do that. All right. So if I go to multiple choice, there is another, there are options here which you could try out later in Khanmigo, which is basically how you can use this for different kinds of assessments. Okay, so you have one where you could actually use for multiple choice questions also. You could generate for a variety of questions. So you could just say what is the number of questions you want, what is the choices that you would wish to, what is the grade, which is the grade that you're creating your question paper from. And you could also search, yeah, so I'm just typing out the content to be taken from the Khan Academy. So I'm just saying fractions. And so I could just say fractions. And I'm just taking grade 10. I want just 4 options, and I want number of questions to be 5, and I just say start. So I have different option. My only intention of introducing Magic School and Khanmigo is because I know you know the tools, but you have to explore the assessment tools specifically into that. So when you see, you would see the 5 questions that were generated for fractions, and the answer key for that is also given. Now, irrespective of which grade, what topic that you are generating, one thing as educators that you will always keep in mind is that you will have to verify the correctness of the answers, the correctness of the content that is being generated using AI. You cannot blindfoldedly copy paste the content and take it to your classrooms without cross checking it at least twice. Go through the entire content, go through the answers of the questions that has been generated for you, and then you discuss it with your classroom. So Khanmigo is also a very, very relevant platform whereby you can actually use your tool specifically for assessment purpose. Another one that I want to explain was called questionwell.org. Okay, I'll just type the link in the chat box. So this one is known as questionwell.org. Though there are many other options that you can use here, I specifically like how it can generate and interactive questions on the videos that we play from YouTube. But if you look at this interface, you would see that there are n number of things that you could do. There are personalization and inclusivity, lesson planning, student engagement, assessment and feedback. Again, you have so many of them. Then teacher productivity and professionalism. So today, if you like this tool and you want to further know more about it, just go to this help me use question well, and then you try and understand how question well works in extensively, and then you use that tool for yourself. Okay, so right now I just want to show you one instance of how this is being generated. So you clicked on that new quiz, it generates multiple choice questions. You can actually give in, I and it's only it's a premium platform, so it only gives us 5 premium questions that are left for us. Like these are all 5 premium questions. Like the multiple choice questions are available, but if you want short answer, fill up the blank, multi select. So maybe if I click on this, and I want a short answer. Okay, so if I click on this multiple choice, short answer, true, false, multi select questions, and I could have a topic of the central tendency, or maybe I can have quadratic equation. I hope you are all with me. If you're with me, just type a yes or a thumbs up. And I would just go back to grade. The maths teachers, any maths teachers, your quadratic equation is in grade 12, grade 10 also. I think we'll take grade 12. And, if I go to a new tab and I say quadratic equation, yeah, it's a class 10 one. Okay, so I'm just taking this one and I am taking this particular video.
Spotlight shine bright all on me. Got the internet turn like who is
I've
she?
taken that particular video and I'm coming back to my this option. Now, if you look at this, there are some options that are free. Like for example, you can add your own text and generate question based on that. You can use the if you have a reading topic based on which you want to generate a question, you can do that. If you have a PDF, you can also bring in your PDF and then generate questions based on that. Sorry, PDF, you can only have 2 options because it's a premium feature. This is where if I already have the material generated. For example, here I have 2 material generated. One is for 12th grade and another is for economics. So I can do that. So I'm just going here. I click on this. I click on the video that I wanted to generate. I have 2 options. I can either go ahead and continue generating questions, or I can have an interactive video. Okay, where the video plays, the question pops up in between the video plays, the question pops up in between the video. So I can do that. So I am just gonna go and make it to the 10th grade. Okay, what if you look at this here, it says there are actually 1,000 words that are allowed for it. Okay, so what we can do is when you click on the edit content, they talk a lot about things that are not related to your topic of interest. They use very casual languages also. So you could just I'm just taking off a few content that are not relevant. You could actually take something in English and bring it here. Most of the transcript, if it is in Hindi, you can still bring it, but the questions generated may not be that appropriate. So I'm just going to see. This was a good one because it was okay. Let's just go with that as well. Okay, and I'm just going to go and we'll see what it is going to do. Just I'm just going to delete the rest of it. Okay, I would just say save changes. Oh, okay, this is still so you have to make sure the transcript is smaller in size. Okay, and let's just say Sorry about that. There's something that's happening. I just want to show you how it basically works. Like you can try out on your, I'm using my I will show you something which I've already prepared in this. Okay. This is, I had brought in a reading material called Central Tendency, and we could actually create questions based on that as well. So I had brought in another one. It was a simple one called the structure of an atom. And based on the transcript, it generated around 10 questions for that. Okay, the process is same. You bring in the YouTube video, the transcript is pasted there. And when you say generate questions, it generates the question here. Now, if you look at each question, it gives you the learning outcome of that question, which level of Bloom's taxonomy it is, and what type of question it is, whether it is dealing with a core concept. So each one of it, if you go, this is a recall one. This is a comprehension question. This is an understanding level. And this is the learning outcome of the question. So, and you would see the answer also being highlighted. You also have an option. If you're not happy with the question, you could delete the question. You can modify it with AI. You can edit it. Or if you are happy with the question, you just simply click on select all. So 10 questions were generated. I selected all the 10 questions. And now when I say export, I have an option of making it an interactive quiz. I can have it like a Jeopardy game, or I can also take it as a worksheet and take it to my classroom. Not just this, I can export the same quiz to Google Form, Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Quizlet, Kahoot, all of this. So if I just take the Google Form option, whatever document that I have, whatever questions I have generated right now here, it will also be exported to my Google Form. So when it comes here, you just say make a copy. And you see those 10 questions are being transported to your Google Form, which can be published and shared with your children for the assessments that they take. So that is also that is also possible by going to the question well option. If I want, I could simply have an interactive quiz here, okay, where I could have an online interaction, which means my children need to be online when they are attempting this question. And if I want the learner to read the reading material before the quiz, I can set this on. Okay, I can give the feedback to students in real time. This would work just like your quizzes or Mentimeter, where you generate a code and you give it to them. You can do that as well. So if I just say this is the code that I would be sharing with my student, and this will be the QR code that they can scan, and they will be able to attempt this question. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. If I wish, I could also export it, and I can take a printout of this question paper. So if I want here, do I want to include a learning outcome of my particular topic? So if I say yes, it gets added. Do I want any discussion questions to be added? If I say yes, it could be added. And then I can simply take it for printing as a PDF document, take a printout. I can share it in my classroom, and I can help my children work with it. So this is questionwell.org for you. And in that questionwell.org, when I say import, there are other options of, you have this question type also, where these are all, this is by default that is available for the free version of it. Okay, this is kind of the question that they use for Bloom's taxonomy. This is focused on the basic understanding and vocabulary. If there is a new topic, if you want an advanced analysis, you'll have to click on that and then go ahead with the rest of the process. Okay, if you want a quick assessment to be done, fast checking for understanding, you would probably click on this. But these are all premium feature, and the number of attempts would be restricted for it. And if you just go ahead and you check out all the AI tools that are available with Questionwell, you would see a lot more given here. So based on your requirement, you could do that. So as I said in the beginning, not getting overwhelmed by the tools that are available, but trying out one tool at a time and seeing whether it works for you or not. So Questionwell is again created to create assessments using technology. So I'm just closing these two, and we are going to another one, which is called a QReport. Okay, I'm just typing. I'll share the link with you. Everybody is with me? Is everyone with me? How many tools have we done so far? Can we have it in the chat box? Thank you, Asha. Thank you, Rushi. Thank you, Aditya. Yes. So I see. So how many tools have we done so far? We tried out Magic School. We went to the interface of Khanmigo. We saw Questionwell. Okay, so we have done 3. Yes, so I get 2, 3, 4. So that's fine. We have done 3 platforms so far. And before we get into the another one, this one is known as QReport, and this is how it comes on my screen. I want you to understand something. In all the AI tools, there are so many options that are available for you to try out. What I liked about QReport was its ability to generate interactive presentations, and also while I am taking my lessons, I can have some skills being practiced. For example, this one, all of you can try with me. I did this one. Okay, it's called skill practice and generate a lesson. These are the 2 ones that I've tried it out today to show you. So if I look into the skill practice, you could actually select the subject. There are 4 options here. You can select the classes and you can select the language. So based on that, what I did was I selected an option whereby I uploaded a PDF document which was of how do organism reproduce, and I uploaded it into QRepad. Now, if I start this, you will see on your screen a code. I want you to use that code and get into the QReport platform and see how this works. There are 25 slides, but I won't be able to do all the 25, but at least we'll see that how can you make a lesson that's already existing with you an interactive lesson by checking in. Assessments do not always mean that it has to come at the end of the lesson. Assessment means you are checking the understanding of the children as you are taking them through it. Okay, so I'm just going to start this right now. On your screen, you see a QR code. Only if at least one person joins, I will be able to display this on my screen, because I need at least one student to join in. So if you put, yeah, I have, see, as soon as some of my children are joining in, you would see that the weighting has now changed to red. I'm just going to go and say this. Okay. So what is happening here is I have put in the entire PDF document. You could put in small paragraphs that would help the children to read something and then take it. So the slide progression depends on the teacher. So I'm just going to take it to the, so this one has actually got a 3 minutes time. I'm going to reduce the time because we don't have that much. So I'm just going to give you 30 seconds. Okay. If you are giving some answers, we would be able to see this. Okay. I've got 2 feedbacks. I've got out of this. See, this is my question. And what do you think made the surprise freeze color appear? Okay. So once I start the activity, you get 30 seconds to answer that question. The timer is on. So maybe some of you could just try some random answer. You may have to be correct. Okay, unless and until it is your subject. Okay, so I see some answers also. Alright, so as soon as I'm about to end my activity, Okay, so I see some answers here. Okay, I can see some answers here, 3 words written. So read the feedback on your device, which means if I write a feedback as a teacher, I know which student has given me the answer as a teacher. So if I write it, it will go to their device and they can read the feedback on their device. Okay. So if I go to the next slide, okay, and yeah, she painted them was one interesting answer. Okay. All right. So again, this is the next slide. And based on this, you again have, say, 1 minute. So I'm just going to make it to 30 seconds again, and I start an activity. So this is how you can have your textbook uploaded or a particular chapter uploaded, and you can have assessment being carried out along with how you are taking your session. Okay. So this is how the sketch how one parent amoeba divides into 2 identical copies. Label the steps with the words below. So it's not just the typical answers that you're writing. You could even have drawings in this activity. Okay, so this is your report, and this is how you can have skill activity being interacted into. So the skill activity being added off into your this thing. Okay, so if all the children have drawn, you could see the drawings and you can vote for which is the your favorite drawing. So I'm just finishing the voting right now. So this is, if the children have drawn, you will see the drawings and you will see the votes over here. Okay, so I could see a few here. Thank you so much for those who at least try to attempt. So we are not looking at the artistry of the people who have attempted this, but this is possible. So like that, you can try out this QueryPad. All right, so I'm just gonna go. So you will see a lot of interesting, visuals for your test also. So I'm just gonna go and end my slide into it. Okay. So I can see the report of how many children participated. Okay, I will end my lesson and I could see these are the people who have attempted, right? And people who have not participated. I can generate insights based on that. So this is possible using QReport. I would like to show you something more. This is again a very simple one which I had done, which is if I just say start now, you'll again see a QR code. And if you use the QR code to join this is taking a lesson. This is not having a specific activity like that, but using QReport, you could actually have. So 2-3 people have joined. So this is sunlight to sugar plant power. It's about photosynthesis. Okay, a teacher is taking a session on photosynthesis. Okay, shout out the first 3 things you think plant needs to make their own food, and you have 20 seconds. I have given you 20 seconds to answer that. So you can type out the answer for this particular one. 20 seconds to you. You have to type it out in the platform of QReport. Okay, not in the chat box of Zoom, in the platform of QReport. Okay, so if I look into the answers that had come in with the participants who had come in, you will see these are the answers. So as an educator, you can actually see how your children are following your lesson by asking them questions in between and not waiting for the final assessment to come. Okay, so this is QReport for you. I don't want to further go into it because I have one more very important tool for you, which would be a life changer for you. Some of you may have already used it. So this is called Notebook LM. I'm sure there are people who have already used Notebook LM. So I would just further show you how else, for those of you who have not used Notebook LM, link is in the chat box. And this is the interface of the Notebook LM. Okay. So what is Notebook LM? So Notebook LM's interface looked like this. If you are a Geo subscriber and if you have the Google's Gemini free version, The Notebook LM has higher functionality, but for all the free users who are using Gemini and all, everything free, this can also work well for you. So this is your interface. When you click on this create new, you will come to a place where you are able to see this interface. There are three. The whole screen is divided into three. On your left hand side, you have an option of bringing in your resources. Your resources could be of these many type. You can upload files from your devices, your laptops. You can have a YouTube link, you have a website link, you can paste it over here. Okay. If you want, and if your Google Drive has content, you can bring it here. If you have something as a text in a notebook or a Word, you can bring it here. And when you bring it here, this is how it looks like. I'm just going back so that I can show you a notebook that I created. I've created a notebook for you so that I can show you, demonstrate to you that how I can use this Notebook LM. And why is this Notebook LM different from any of the tools that I have taught about? This gives you the complete freedom, complete autonomy to design assessment purely based on your content. This is not going to train the AI model based on the inputs that you're going to give. So it's not going to refer to the random sources and bring it here unless and until you ask it to do it. Okay. So see, what I did was I actually downloaded 2 textbooks from the CBSE website for maths quadratic equation. I have downloaded one maths quadratic equation textbook and one exemplar, and I uploaded it. I'll show you how exactly how I did that. What I did was I said add sources. I said upload files. And when I go to my downloads, there is this PDF file for maths quadratic equation. There was this for exemplar. I could select and say open, but I already added it. So that is why it's already here. And every source is selected. You can deselect. You can take the one that you are interested in. Only that one also you can select. I've also added one YouTube video. Okay. Now, based on this, whatever I have selected, I'll just show you because we were short on time. I've actually created something for you. I wrote this prompt. I said, create 3 sets of 20 questions on quadratic equation for class 10 CBSE. Now, you could be an ICSE, you could be a state board, you could be anyone, you could bring in your own resources and you can work with it, okay? And just like how I give prompts to my ChatGPT or any other LLM model, here is where I type my prompt. And this is what it gave me. It gave me 20 questions on quadratic equation, 3 differentiated sets, because I want all my children to be included, my average, below average, my gifted student, everybody to be added. So this is based on set 1 is for foundational level, which is for basic learner profile. I have a part A, I have a part B, and I have long answer question. And then I have answers for that. I have a set 2, which is for standard intermediate learner profile. Again, I have part A, part B, and the long answer question, which is part C. I also have one more, which is advanced challenge. Now, please understand, this is being taken from the resource that I have given. This is purely being taken from the textbooks that I have uploaded, the video that I have uploaded into my notebook. And based on that, it has created these questions. Okay. Now, if I ask it to give me 2 competency-based questions of 5 marks each for the same topic, here are the 2 competency-based questions with the solution that it has given me. Okay. And if I go further ahead and I say that I want a case-based question on quadratic equation. Now, I know it's difficult to cover so much in a little time. So there is a document that I've created with different prompts that are available. Okay. So I've created a notebook prompt library for you all. I'll share it with the OBS team and they would share it with you. Okay. So there are different kinds of prompts that you can give for different kinds of requirement. You have your observation, your summative assessment prompts, all that can be done here. So I have just done that here. Now see, the case study that it has created is of the Vande Bharat journey. and how it has connected that to my quadratic equation. Now, this is what is happening in real world. All the board exams, all the boards are moving towards from rote learning to competency-based exam, irrespective of whether you are teaching a grade 1 or a grade 5 or a grade 10 or a grade 12. You have to follow the model. I have shown you grade 10 or 12, but you can try it for your respective grades and see. Now, I talked about these two sections. Now, let us look at the right side of the notebook LM, where you can create a podcast based on the content that you want. Okay. Like, for example, I would uncheck all of these. And I said that I want a small 5-minute podcast. Now, if you look at all the tools, it also has a small edit tool, right? So what is that you want? I want a 5-minute podcast for, okay, forgive my spelling. I am a dyslexic learner, so don't mind. AI is very generous with me. I hope today you're also going to be generous with me. So I'm just going to write a very short prompt, okay? And I would just say, what is the length that I want? I want a short prompt of English. I can change the language to anything that I want. I have an option of regional languages also. I will show you once I come here. See, look at this. These are some of the regional languages, so you can try out that as well. So it is creating an audio. Now, it also has an option of creating small videos based on the material that you're bringing in to Notebook LM. So see, this is the beauty of Notebook LM, that you are working on your resources. You are bringing in your resources to Notebook LM, and you are asking it to create question papers. You are asking it to train the children for the past 10 years, or you are trying to make summative exam question paper, formative exam question paper, you name it, and it will be all there for you. Okay, so this, you can create a video based on this. You can create a mind map. So when I click on this mind map, I had already created a mind map based on 7 sources that I had selected, and this is the mind map. See, mind map works beautifully for children because it's simple and it's visual, and you could just, you have an option of expanding it also. Look at it, how beautifully it expands. And you also have an option of downloading this mind maps. So see, when your children are preparing for exams, or when your children are preparing to learn that particular topic after you've taken a session, you leave them with a mind map based on any topic that you have given, and it helps them to prepare and learn that topic better. Isn't this wonderful that on a click of a finger, you can create a mind map of any topic that you wish to, okay? Now, that was a mind map for you. I think I've generated a few other things. Yeah. Suppose, what if I wanted to generate a comprehensive study guide for exam? So when I click on this option of reports, you will see that what is that you want to generate out of the source that you have brought in here will be displayed here. Do you want a small briefing document? Do you want a study guide? Do you want to create a blog post? Do you want to create a resolution? Whatever, curriculum, everything is given here, and everything comes with this edit. So you could actually go ahead and edit the prompt that you want. You can select the language that you wish to. You can select, or you can write as teachers what is exactly that you want to be created, and click on this generate button. So what I did was I actually created one for you, which was a comprehensive study guide. And this could be copied to a Google document and then shared with the children, because I cannot download this here. So see, this is how it looks like. It has given all. Are you able to see my Notebook LM screen? Can I see a yes on the chat box if you're able to see my Notebook LM screen? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. That helps. Thank you so much. So that also means you are very closely watching me and you are with me. So see, this is my comprehensive study guide. Now you name a subject. You can bring any subject. You have languages, you have science, arts, humanities, anything. You name it and you can bring it. All your resources on the left-hand side. There will be a summary generated in the middle of the Notebook LM. You can interact with that particular sources from the chat box that is given here. And again, on the right hand side, you can create so many. The fundamental concepts are declared here, and the solving strategies are mentioned. So, and the practice quiz is also given to children. Okay, so answer keys are given. Imagine if we have an access to something like this for our children, how easy their life is going to be. And imagine how much time it would take for us to make this, manually. A hell lot of a time, right? So that's why we say technology has to be brought in, sensibly. Has to be brought in while you are preparing your lessons, while you are trying to assess your children, because that's just going to add to the superpower you are. You are the magic in your classrooms, okay? You are the supreme person in the classroom. What if you get a magical wand which will help you to teach better, assess better, help your learners to achieve their learning outcomes? What more can we ask as a teacher, So this is the mind map. This was a report. I had generated one flashcards, okay, based on this video that I had selected. I had generated the flashcard. Now, what is the difference between a flashcard and a quiz? Is that in the flashcard I can see the answer also, but in the quiz I will not be able to see the answer. Okay, so these are the flashcard that it has generated. Now the flashcards, one second, I'll just show you in the bigger screen. So this is 65 cards it has generated in just one click of my button. Based on the YouTube video that I had uploaded, it has generated 65 flashcards, and I can also see the answer for each one here. Isn't it lovely that your children can learn using Notebook LM the concept? You are trying to give them a learning partner who can help them learn something. You can download this, okay? The beauty is that except for the note part of it, the study guide part of it, these cards, the flashcards can be downloaded. It can be shared with your children. Yes, so that was about flashcard. If you want, you can generate a quiz based on the after the children have gone through the video, which is 2 or 3 hour videos that they watch. Do you know that many of your children have started watching YouTube channels and learning from the YouTube channels? Why are they doing that? Because our traditional classrooms are not allowing them to learn the way they learn. We're still stuck in the old way of teaching and learning. So if we start doing this, if we start using these tools, how lovely it would be, right? So if I go ahead and show you, it's generating my quiz. So I showed you, yeah, I had created what do you say? I had created a small presentation based on the resources that I had given. Okay, so based on 4 resources, this is the slide that has been created for me. So if you look at this, so this is a simple presentation that was generated using the material that I selected, which I brought in my notebook, and then I selected that notebook, and this is how it works. Look at that. I have taken maths because, unfortunately, maths is one subject that I was scared of all my life. That's why probably I went with maths. You could take English, you could take science, you could take social science, you could take any subject that you teach, and you can do all of this. So this was a slide for you, which was generated. If I go back, and so I showed you, yeah, I had also, if I want multiple languages to come in. So I created using both Hindi and English. I created a question. So I could do that also if I give a prompt to my, Notebook LM. I can create a bilingual also. So the prompt was create 3 MCQs on this topic in both English and Hindi. I can write the prompt. I am the master. I can ask it whatever it I want, and it will help me to do that. And also, let me tell you, when you actually are bringing in sources in the free account, you are allowed, I brought in 15, you are allowed to bring in 50 documents of any type. Okay, and if you are already a premium subscriber of Gemini or a Google Pro, then you can bring in 300 documents instead of 50. You can bring in 300 documents. Okay, so that is the power of Notebook LM. And what else I have created, which I wanted to show you. Yeah, this is the the quiz that it has generated. Okay, but here remember, it has created a quiz. I've created 10 question. It is not going to give me an answer. Okay, the child has to attempt. Now you can actually go ahead, delete the question if you don't wish to, or you can actually share this with, you can just copy paste it with your children and they can try and attempt this particular one. So that was Notebook LM for you. You have, this is your, what do you say, the presentation that you create. You can create infographics. Suppose I would just like to go back to my other notebooks and let me see if I've created any infographics. All right, let me just see if it I've created any infographic. Yeah. So beautiful infographics based on the topic that you're taking can be created by Notebook LM. So you could create infographics based on the content that you're bringing in. And the best part is you will not see any spelling mistakes. You will not see any errors. You will not see some random material in the infographic. It will be purely based on what you have given. So if I go back and I take, I think, yeah, this is a business studies topic for grade 11. And have I created an infographic for this? No. Let me just create an infographics for this. Okay. So let me just see what it brings in while it is generating. So here, this is a business study. I think it's a grade 11 business studies. I've brought in 2 chapters of business studies, and then I've generated questions. I've generated flashcards. I've generated, your mind maps, which is very easy for children to learn and understand in one go. So let me just see if it has created my infographic. Okay, it's still creating my infographic. Let me just see if I have any other notebook where I have actually created an infographic. Let me see. Yeah. So this is actually an infographic based on the probability concept. Okay, so you have an option of deciding which content you want, based on which you want to create a infographic or a quiz. So we did 4 tools today. And in the beginning, I said, please don't get overwhelmed by all the tools that are available to you. I just want you, this is what I really want you to do after this workshop is over. Make it work in your own context, right? That is, choose one upcoming assessment that's coming up, which you would like to redesign using technology, using one of the AI tools that we have discussed right now, and try it out whether it works for you or not. We have done 5 today. We did Magic School, Khan Academy, Khanmigo, Curipod. We did Notebook LM, and we also did Question Bank. Okay, so you have to bring in all your resources. If you're using Notebook LM, bring in all your resources. Try that one. Try differentiated versions of the assessments and see. And also, what is your short-term integration? This is immediately. Can you build a question bank for your, your topic, your subject? Can you try out one competency based assessment with students? Can you collect student feedback on how their experience was when they attempted an assessment that was created by AI, and what happens when you have given them a normal assessment, and then you keep working on it? See, there is no magic in it. Okay, there is no magic pill that one fine day you wake up, you use a tool, and your assessments become better. No, it doesn't work like that. You are the magic in your classroom. You are the light in your children's life. So you have to remember that very clearly. Okay, and how do you sustain this? I see many teachers attending many webinars, many workshops, knowing many tools, but ultimately when they go back to their classrooms on a Monday morning, everything remains the same. Okay, so is that what you want to do? Is that how you want to take your sessions? Nothing can stop you. But you can decide that, no, I'm going to try out this one tool in one of my subject, in one of my topic, and see whether it works for me. I told you, the tool that doesn't work for you, chuck it. You don't have to spend a lot of time understanding a tool. A tool should make your life easier. If it's making your life difficult, that's not the tool for you. Okay, so these are some of the sustainable practices you can try out. And how do you decide whether this is good or bad? These are the success indicators. If you're spending less time, if you are able to spend more time analyzing, you are spending more time working on the results that you get, your students are able to demonstrate deeper understanding, your workload has considerably reduced, your anxiety as the assessment comes has reduced, then definitely the tool works for you. Okay. And you remember one thing, that perfection is something that we achieve as we go. And everything will work if you start. If you start now, if you start small, and you are the person in charge. Please don't forget that factor. Nothing can replace you, nobody can take you out. You are the master. AI is only an assistant, AI only is a tool for you. Okay, so when your expertise and the AI tool or technology comes together, that is when you are able to create a powerful assessment for yourself. And I hope that whatever you have gained from today's session, I would love to hear from you that you have tried out at least one tool. What were the challenges that you faced? What worked for you? Whether it was easy, whether it made your life easier for you. Okay, so I have seen a lot of teachers spending time on webinars by logging in and just waiting for the feedback form and certificates. I don't know if any of you still ask for certificates and your feedback form, but that doesn't change anything. Okay, adding number of hours into your CPD doesn't help you with anything other than filling in those number of hours. What would actually change is you actually working on it. Take 1 hour every week or 1 hour every 2 days a week. Okay, and work on what you have in front of you. And remember that these are all things things that you can actually learn on your own. It's not very difficult at all, and you have a very a very user friendly tools available. All the 4 or 5 tools that I have discussed today, Notebook LM is purely from Google, so the safety and security factor remains there. Having said that, I again insist, choose one tool, use it for one assessment, observe the difference, and see whether it works for you or not. I hope today you had received at least one thing from this session, and it was not a waste of your time, because we've painstakingly actually wanted to give you something that you can take to your classrooms tomorrow, can start working on your assessments or whatever topics that you're taking, and you are able to work with your children better. You feel confident. You feel confident about, yes, I can work with this tool. My children are going to do perform better. So the heart of the learning is the child, and you keep that always there. And everything else is built around the child. And the times are not very easy. You really need to have that kind of competency built in yourself, whereby you remain updated with all the changes that are coming up. And believe me, there are a lot of people who are helping you out with it. Okay, I see OBS always conducting, I if I'm not wrong, this is the 41st webinar they are conducting for teachers. And there are so many other initiatives across the industry. There are so many mentors out there who can help you out. Please remember, ultimately it's your decision, your choice. So thank you so much, and I think I would pass the panel to the Smita. Smita, if you're there, and if there are questions, I'm sorry, since I was demonstrating, I couldn't look into the questions, but if there are some relevant questions, please shoot it out.
Yeah. That was fantastic. And I could see from the responses, our participants are completely engaged, connected
Thank you
with
so
you.
much.
And the questions are very, very relevant. Some
Yeah.
very typical questions.
Okay.
I'll start with a question that's come a little too often.
Huh.
For Curipod and separately even for Notebook LM, is it free or is it premium? That's one question.
Okay. Can I answer this?
Yes, please.
Curipod, you have a number of trials, like you can have 4 or 5 slides or lessons created. Then you can try out its premium version. But usually, I know, being a teacher myself, I would never use a premium software. But Notebook LM is free for you. If you have a GeoSim, please go ahead and take. I am not sharing my screen yet, right? Am I sharing my screen?
No, your screen is not shared yet.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Na? If you are a JioSim subscriber, you could actually take the premium version of Gemini and you can actually get 300. The Notebook LM works far better, but the free version of Notebook LM, which allows you to work with 50 resources at a time in a single notebook, you can bring in up to 50 resources. That works for everybody. But again, the presentation, the videos, the number of videos you can generate would be restricted in the free version. That's the only difference.
All right, so there's another question. The participant would like to know, she has a ChatGPT premium account. So can you suggest any AI that will work with it?
ChatGPT is a large language model. ChatGPT doesn't require an AI model to work with it. See, AI tools are used independently. ChatGPT is something you would use for brainstorming. You can generate questions, but make sure that it is, you have personalized that ChatGPT. That's a total different topic itself. But ChatGPT does not need an AI tool to work. It's an independent platform. Okay, so if you have a premium version of ChatGPT, there are a lot more things that you can do. That ChatGPT 5.2, which is available right now to all of us for 1 year trial. If you go to your ChatGPT options, you will get a 1 year trial. You will just have to set an auto pay for 1 year. It allows you to use your ChatGPT 5.2 free of cost. And for those of you who said you don't have a GeoSim, you can still work with Notebook LM with 50 resources. Believe me, that's enough. You don't bring 300 resources at a time in a single notebook to work with. You can create multiple notebooks, Go ahead and create multiple notebooks and work with it. I hope that answers the question, Vinila.
Absolutely, yes. Another question, and this question came up when you were taking us through Magic School. The participant wants to know if the question document, the question paper, will it be saved on the drive and can they take a direct printout?
No, it will not be saved on the drive. You will have to export it. You'll have to copy it into a Word or a Google Doc or a Canva doc, and then from there you can download it into your system.
Okay, and another question is, can we get a model question paper or from any of these tools?
Okay, now that's a tough one to answer because see, you're all different teachers. Your requirements are different. So there isn't a one model question paper. It would depend upon your board. What kind of pattern your board follows. Like for CBSE, there is a pattern. For the state, there is a pattern. IB, there is another pattern. For the ISC, there is another pattern. So there won't be, it's not one size fits all. Okay. But yes, Smita, I think I have a document which has got prompts for different kinds. Now they can modify, they can try those prompts and put it in their respective scenarios and then generate a model question paper. That would be possible. But there wouldn't be one model question paper generated by using one single AI tool. I don't think that's possible.
I'll just like to inform all our participants that Ms. Shibi is going to share the document with us and we will be uploading it on the teachers portal under the OBS One banner. So you can download it from there and it is yours to use. Someone had also asked about the recording of this webinar. I'm absolutely thrilled to tell you all our webinars, the recordings of all our webinars also go up on the teachers portal. So you can come back to this, and if you've forgotten something, you can refresh by looking at the recording of the webinar. Okay, now this is sorry, Ms. Shibi, I think this is going to be a little tough here, this question. Again, someone's asked, Notebook LM isn't working here in UAE. So we've got participants signing in from UAE also. So they're asking whether there are any alternatives to Notebook LM.
See, the alternatives to Notebook LM is again the multiple AI tools that we discussed. Like you could use Gemini. So the Google doesn't work in AI. I'm sorry. I'm a little. I'm not very sure about.
So I said it's a little
Google
tough.
does not work in AI. If Google works, this Notebook LM is actually a product of Google. So this should work. So I'm not aware that Google doesn't work in UAE. Is that how? Anybody who is here from UAE, could you just throw a light on whether Google works in UAE? I think it does, because I have a lot of people there and they use Notebook LM is working in Oman. So I know a lot of teachers, whom I take workshops, and
Yes.
they are from UAE, and that works perfectly well. Qatar, it works. UAE. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Swati. Thank you so much, Ala. Yeah, it could be possible. So for security reason, if your organization is blocking a particular tool, then probably that would not work. But otherwise, Notebook LM actually works in all countries, because Google works in all countries. So yes, it definitely works.
Perfect. So probably just check what you're typing in when you go into the Notebook LM app. Yeah. Another question we have: how practical are these technology-based assessments in a regular classroom? Will it increase the workload?
It again, see, I understand where this question is coming from. I really understand, because I myself I was a classroom teacher, so we do understand that in a regular classroom setups we cannot do this online things. But when we are sitting down to make question papers for our children, right, for any kind of assessment, formative, summative, class test, or anything like that, that is when we use these tools, and we take it to our respective platform. We save it, we put it in the our question paper format, whatever format that we have for our respective schools. We take a printout and then we give those. I'm sure that, yeah, many of India is a very diverse country, and not all of us are privileged to have an online connectivity in our classrooms or a smart boards in our classrooms where we can deal with children like this. Yes, but in those scenarios also, you can create your question papers using AI tools, and then take those question papers as a hard copy and give it to your children for practice. Will that work? I'm sure that definitely works.
Yeah, it will definitely reduce the workload. It's
Yeah,
not.
Smita, there was a question here when we were taking that, whether it will work in Sanskrit and there was one more, Marathi. Yes, it does. Notebook LM does work in all the Indian languages. What you need to do is, if I just go back, sharing my screen. Okay, 1 second. I'm sorry, 1 second. In this Notebook LM, if you go to, Smita, is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so if you come here and if you click on the output language, okay, you can change the language of the notebook, and then you can select the language that you wish to. Some of the Indian languages are available here: Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi. I don't know, did I miss Marathi? Can you find out, is anything? Yeah, Marathi. Okay, so Marathi is here. You can change it into Marathi. So yes, the language can be changed. Sanskrit, please check it out. Personally speaking, I haven't checked out Sanskrit, but the other, yes, thank you so much. Somebody has already mentioned it. Marathi is available. Yes, thank you so much. So yeah, you were saying something, Smita. We have more questions.
Yes, we do have a couple of more questions.
Yeah.
How does technology help in identifying individual students' learning gaps?
Okay, please understand, the only best person to understand a child is you. But these tools can help you in doing that. So when we talked about Magic School, I did not show you differentiated learning or inclusive learning tools. In Khanmigo, in Magic School, even using ChatGPT, you can put in the work, or you can have options where you can identify the learning gaps of the children. Please go ahead and explore those tools and see if it works for you. But please remember that ultimately it is a teacher who can understand each child better. But yes, a teacher can be assisted using any of these tools. Today, we focused only on 5 tools that were basically for assessments. There are n number of tools. There is one tool called DFID. Okay, if the team can just get the link of this from the Google. It's called Diffit, okay? Diffit. This is one platform for, bringing inclusivity, making reading materials that are relevant for each learner profile, okay? And also, how do you actually check as a teacher the learning gaps? You know that what you have taught and what the child has responded has not in sync, right? So you can try out these tools to find out how to rectify that and use those suggestions to sit with the child and rectify it. Okay, so Vanilla says now I can. Okay, fine. So maybe the link that you were trying for Notebook LM was not the right one. So now it works. I'm happy to know that. So thank you so much. Any other questions, Smita? You're on mute. You're on mute. Smita, you're on mute.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yes, there's just this one last question here. What kind of training is required for teachers to use tech-enabled platforms for assessments, especially when not tech-savvy?
Okay. See, all the tools that I've mentioned would require your personal effort. Everything requires your personal effort and personal initiation. But there are organizations that are giving teacher trainings, okay, based on different concepts. And it's available online. And it's available with a lot of organizations. So I know a lot of organizations personally that are into teacher training. Like this one is for teacher training, right? And you are able to come here and got to know about 5 tools like this. Similarly, you have trainings for teachers that will help you to do this. Okay. And you will be able to do it in one single place. You're not going into 5 different places looking for this answer, that type of question. You'll be there in one single platform and everything will be included in that platform. Only thing is you'll have to sit down, spend some time on it, work with that particular platform and learn from it. I think self-learning and lifelong learning is the only mantra going forward. I hope that answers the question.
Yes,
Yeah, it's lovely
absolutely.
to see. Thank you for motivating me. I've already created one grammar assessment. That's lovely to know. So, this was our intention today here. We wanted you to take one thing at least from this webinar, go back to your classrooms and start using that. We don't want to, overwhelm you with hundreds and thousands of tools and you can do this and you can do that. So, even in these 5 tools, pick one tool, work with it, keep the tool if it works, discard the tool if it doesn't, and pick on another one. So I hope, and thank you so much, OBS, for hosting this webinar because this is so relevant in today's time. And I hope all the participants here today have benefited from this session. Thank you so much for having me here also.
Yep. I mean, all the information that you shared during the question answer session, Ms. Shibi, I couldn't agree more. Right now, it's very simple that right now the need of the hour is to be able for teachers to be able to use integrated tools that are really
Yes.
simple, easy to use.
Yes.
And hence, I'm really excited to introduce both our new integrated learning management system. And we have designed this platform with a very clean, intuitive interface and an on-screen guide to help you navigate every feature with ease. Most importantly, teachers, both is built by educators for educators. Hence, it has the advantage of the content bundled with assessments seamlessly, saving time and effort for the teachers. It answers a lot of the questions that have been coming up. And the last question that came up, it comes with a certified teacher training program, which is there to ensure that you feel fully confident mastering the tech-enabled assessments from day one. So to know more about both, please scan the QR code on your screen. We will be happy to connect with you for the same. Also, just one last point, because there was this question on differentiated instruction. Both has taken care of that as well. So do scan that QR code on the screen and fill in the you can request for us to get in touch with you. We'll be happy to come to your school and demonstrate both to you. All right, that brings us to the end of today's session. I would really like to thank Ms. Shibby for this wonderful session. I'm sure all the participants have found it informative and useful. I would also like to thank every one of you here for participating in today's webinar. We'd really love to hear from you. Please do share your feedback with us. The link to the feedback form has been posted in the chat box. The certificate will be sent via email. It's a wrap from our end. A good day to all of you from us at Orient Black Swan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.